Okay, we are now come back to the core component, RPC client. So in this core component, we need to develop two main tasks. The first one in this component is processing RPC request. Right, RPC request. When it receives the RPC request, it needs to do something. It needs to find out which method the RPC request is asking for and find out that method to call the method and get the result from the method, right? And second, in order to achieve this, it needs to scan all RPC methods. Now we need to have some mechanism to mark the RPC methods. So the marked RPC methods are exposed. And when the Spring application starts, this class, the RPC client, will then be started and then start scanning all the RPC methods. Okay, so let's go to this diagram. Now, in order to scan the RPC methods, our framework has a few usage conventions. First of all, we need to define a shared interface called remote service. So remote service is the top RPC interface. And then we define it. And next, this one. And next, all RPC interfaces should extend the remote service and be placed in a separate share module. Okay, this is a common package. All right. So the child interface for RPC, like for example, I have I defined an interface called user details service in user client. So this user client, you can it can be a microservice which is running separately, and also another interface called not in user service, implemented in user client, and the booking detail service implemented in booking client. So it's another microservice. All right, so all these interface, they support the RPC, and they must be extended from the remote service. And these interfaces, we are placing it in a common package, which we say a separate module. And then lastly, all RPC service providers and consumers must depend on this common package to ensure consistent interface definitions. Okay, so let's come back to the IDE. So right now, I'll create a common module and two other modules running as separate services.